Hey guys, my name is Zach, and welcome back to Country Bunkers Trains. As always, I hope you're doing well, hope you're doing good, and of course a big welcome to all of our new subscribers. Guys, I can't believe it. We just hit 200 subscribers. That's excellent, that's awesome. Literally just last week we were celebrating 100. The channel seems to be thriving, and I am thrilled by that. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the content. I gotta say, I'm pretty excited to see the amount of people that share the same love for a toy train-like layout. That's awesome. As I've said plenty of times, I enjoy every aspect of the O-gauge or O-scale train world. All of it is awesome. But of course, my main loves are the post-war engines and equipment, as well as the modern engines and equipment. And that seems to be a winning combo. Seems everybody can relate to that. I really can't thank you guys enough. I do greatly appreciate all the support and comments that I have received. It really does make my day. And I hope these videos bring some excitement to your day as well. Maybe some information, or you get to see something you haven't seen before, or at the very least, a little bit of entertainment value. But yeah, guys, once again, a big salute to you, and a salute to the continuing growth of the channel. Thank you, guys. If we continue growing this fast, I might be down in the whole bottle soon. That's a problem I'm willing to live with. I did want to take a moment and give a huge shout out to my sister. My birthday's coming up next week, and she sent me a special little gift for me, but also for the channel. I think it's pretty cool. She sent me this awesome sign. Isn't that cool? I feel so official now. Thank you, Heather. I really do appreciate it and love the hell out of it. I gotta find a proper place to hang it. I really do, though. I think that's so cool. But anyways, guys, on with the main video. I've had a lot of comments and questions about how I power these layouts. This is the main command center for both layouts. The layout over here, as well as over here. Everything gets run through right here. To start off, my one hurdle I do have, as I've mentioned previously, my train room is located in an expansion off of the main house. This is an added-on sunroom that was added on many years ago. You can see this is the fireplace and chimney right here. And due to that, there's not a whole lot of outlets in here. I've got one outlet located right here behind the curtain of the layout. Another outlet right here on the back side of the fireplace or chimney. And another outlet way over there on that other wall. I kind of feel like I'm stuck in the 30s. I don't have a whole lot of power sources or places to plug into. So both of these layouts are powered off of a duplex outlet, as I say, over here. The layout is powered by these two power strips that I have plugged in. Obviously, everything's plugged into these. The transformers up here, as well as the few smaller transformers that are under the layout, powering the lights and whatnot. Luckily, I haven't started a fire. I haven't had any issues, luckily. It seems to be working so far. I do have some future plans, which we'll go over in a future video, for powering this layout, as I say, in the future. It's coming pretty quickly. Underneath the layout, you can see we have this wonderful spaghetti mess of wires, as well as storage. As you can tell, I'm running out of storage quite quickly. I've also got some more stuff stored behind me under the L expansion of the layout towards the front. But I've also got these old starter set 90s and early 2000s era transformers powering all of the accessories. These are great little pieces. You can usually find these pretty cheap. I've gotten lucky and got one off eBay for like 15 bucks. And like I say, they work great. With the modern accessories, with their LED lighting and whatnot, they don't draw a whole lot of power. So these work great for that. But yeah, these power these distribution blocks which feed the accessories. I've also got an old 1026, I believe, Lionel transformer powering some stuff as well. It still works great. Over here you can see my Lionel 135 watt powered brick. This thing is awesome. This thing will power a little city if you want to. This powers the whole second layout at the moment. You can see the extension cord mess behind it. I've got a cord running under the rug over to the other layout, powering another transformer for the switches, which I'll get into here in a little bit. But all the tracks are powered or run through the TIU except for two. I have the TIU set up right now for all ports to be fixed voltage, which I'll get into here in a little bit. But these come from the factory with 2 ports for fixed voltage and 2 ports for variable. The variable is so you can control voltage to the track on up to 2 tracks for running conventional engines. I really am enjoying this DCS system. It's awesome. And as you can see, I've got TMCC hooked up to it. Lionel sells you these little adapter cables. You can plug up to 2 bricks into 1 port. But I've read that's not good to do. That's too much power running through these TIUs. So I haven't done so. Like I was saying, the Lionel 135 watt brick powers all the track work on this layout over here. The brick feeds the TIU, and then I have a long run of 14 gauge wiring running along the wall over here to a terminal block which feeds all the feeder wires for the track work. It's not ideal, it's not perfect, it has issues. Each of these runs a track have about 4 or 5 feeders. It does work, but I have very weak signal over here for the DCS system. I can run the trains, I can make the sounds work, but when I start trying to turn on and off smoke units and stuff like that, I run into issues. It's not a happy camper. And I am looking to change that, which we'll go over in a future video coming up. I have found in reality the TMCC system is a little bit better suited for these layouts. Or at least this layout over here. The way the DCS system works is you input your commands to your engines. Obviously, whistle, bell, horn, all that good stuff. The TIU sends the command to the engine on the track, and the engine talks back to the TIU, telling it what it's doing. The TMCC system also sends commands through the track. However, the engine does not communicate back with the TMCC system. It just does what it's told. So over here on this layout, with all these tracks currently powered by the 1 brick or 1 terminal block on the TIU, and with this long run of wiring over here powering it, the command signals get lost. This is why I don't have the best signal over here. Whereas with the TMCC engines or Lionel engines over here, they run great with no issue, no flaws. Obviously, of course, you won't have this issue on a smaller layout or a better setup system, which I'm looking to do here in the future. But it is something to consider when you're growing your layout. it can affect it. For feeders, I like to run a power and a ground about every 10 to 15 feet of track. This gives me very good power distribution throughout the whole loop. Under here, I've also got an old Lionel Type 1033 transformer, a post-war transformer, that powers another distribution block that powers about 90% of the switches on this layout. If I had all these switches being fed off of track power, I'd probably be flipping the breaker every time I turned it on. But this works quite well. But yeah, like I say, I don't have the best signal for the DCS system over here. That's the downfall. The other downfall for this layout, I don't really have a good open spot that I could put another control center to control this layout. So this layout's going to stay strictly command control. And I do have plans for a quick video coming up shortly, hopefully. We're going to be changing that. I'm going to take some of the load off of that outlet over there and start installing another DCS system or TIU over here with some bricks. But like I say, we'll go over that here in the future, hopefully fairly soon. I do have all of my sidings insulated from the main track work. These aren't powered up while the layout is running. I've got these toggle switches installed. That helps keep some load off of the transformer or the brick that's running it. And it also keeps, the engines dead when they're just sitting there. That way they're not sitting there soaking up power. It works quite well. And also, like I say, about 90% of these switches are controlled by that 1033 transformer. I've got a couple that are still track power fed. The ones on these dog bone back here still are. But all these ones up here, you can see where the wires are. They're all fed by that secondary transformer. And they all work good. The main layout and the remainder of track is powered by these beautiful post-war transformers. I wouldn't have it any other way. I know this is going to be a bit controversial. A lot of guys will tell you don't run modern engines on these old transformers. They're not made for them. It's not good for them. But I can honestly say I've had no problems, no issues. I haven't fried an engine due to these. I haven't burnt anything up. Everything still works great. I had a lot of guys reach out to me concerned with some of the engines in my fleet that I went over that did have issues, thinking I was running them on these. Those engines actually broke before these came to the layout. I was using bricks at the time. And like I say, I'm not telling you what to do for your own personal railroad. Obviously use what works for you. But yeah, like I say, I've had no issues with them. I love them, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, obviously the big issue with these older transformers is these don't have lightning quick breakers such as the newer bricks or newer transformers. These do still work, however. I've had my share of derailments and stuff, and I've set the breakers off in these. I've got an older 250 watt ZW as well as a newer 275 watt ZW. Although they are advertised as this is not the power they put out. I want to say in reality they put out 180 to 190 watts. These were advertised to be able to run 4 trains at once, but in all honesty I wouldn't do so. These will get pretty warm after a while. Hell, you could almost fry an egg on top of them if you let them run long enough. But like I say, I've had no issues out of them. Both of these have been rebuilt. This one came from my local hobby shop train store, and I picked this one up off of eBay. Both of them work great, work flawlessly. I love the hell out of them. And like I say, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just so iconic. It feels great being able to power the trains with these. And like I was saying earlier, I have the TIU set up for fixed voltage. Obviously, I run my post-war conventional engines on here as well, and that's what I enjoy doing. You'll notice I can still control the power output with the handles. Now, I know in modern command control engines, they're moving more towards Wi-Fi, being able to use your smartphone, tablet, and all that good stuff. I understand the draw of it, but honestly, that's not for me. I come in here to escape from that kind of stuff, everyday life. I'll only get as modern as the remotes. That's enough for me. I don't want to come in here and stare at my phone or tablet to play with trains. That's no fun to me. But that's me personally. Again, whatever you prefer and what works for you, more power to you. The KW does not run through the TIU. This one powers the inner 031 loop as well as this subway loop down here. Over here, I don't have to worry about running feeders. As I've mentioned in previous videos, this MTH track does great for conducting the electrical. It distributes the power perfectly. I do have a feeder on the Menards track, as I've mentioned previously. But that's it. That's the only track over here that has two sets of power wires, a power and a ground. The rest of them, they just have a single input. Like I say, it's a little bit smaller. It's not huge, obviously. But this KW works great. Like I was saying in a previous video, I'm not maxed out on power, but I am past maxed out for the TIU. I like being able to run both modern and conventional on the same tracks. And that's why these are here. Some days I want to run, obviously, modern. Some days I want to run the post-war stuff. And that's why it's set up the way that it is. Currently, this outer handle on the ZW is powering this outer loop, this upper loop, and it's even powering this small loop over here by the city. I can swap that out whenever I want with the lock-ons I have over there. Sometimes it's running on in command mode through this ZW, or I can swap the wires out and run it off of the handle of this ZW. Again, it just depends on what I feel like running. I can get away with doing that, running all three loops off of one port of a ZW with these modern engines. With their LED lighting, electronics, they don't draw near as much power as a post-war engine. Now, if I was trying to run three post-war engines in this manner, yeah, we'd have some difficulties. I'll even say I've noticed with my modern Lionel, they draw a bit more power than my modern era MTH engines. Not a lot, but it's noticeable. If I got my modern Lionel engines running over here on this layout, I can't run all three tracks at one time. I'll start tripping the breaker. Just something I've noticed. The other handle on this ZW goes through the TIU and feeds this second inner loop. This handle on this ZW is currently not in use. Like I say, I've got a pair of wires that run over to the lock-on for this upper loop. And depending on what I feel like running, I'll plug it in. Or like I say right now, I have it hooked up to the command track, the outer loop. This other handle on this ZW powers the 027 loop right here, the second inner. Hindsight 2020, I probably shouldn't have put in an 027 loop. This came from my first starter set and I had a little bit of it, so I wanted to use it. It got me another loop on the table, so I've enjoyed it. But obviously I can't run a whole lot of stuff on it. Currently I've got my Virginian FM Trainmaster on it. Usually the Alco PA is running on it because that's the biggest engine that can handle it and still look somewhat okay doing so. But yeah, guys, like I say, pretty straightforward and simple. No rocket science by any means. Like I was saying, we got the TMCC hooked up to the DCS, so we can control the modern Lionel engines as well. I don't have Legacy, obviously. I've only got one Legacy engine that's not working, so it hasn't been a priority. I would like to add it, though. It'll be coming in the future. I've got my sights on a couple Legacy engines I'd like to get my hands on. I think it'd be pretty fun. I can still sense some guys having a mental breakdown. Oh my god, you're running modern engines on post-war Transformers? Oh! Like I say, guys, don't fret it. And if you're not comfortable doing so, then obviously by all means don't run them on these. But like I say, I can honestly say I've had no issues with them. And I wouldn't have it any other way. There's no more iconic way to run O-gauge trains. I love the hell out of them. I could install, modern breakers in the wiring or diodes and whatnot. And I probably should and will in the future. But like I say, I've had no issues out of them. Nothing's burned up, broke down. I haven't set any fires. But like I say, do what works for you, what you enjoy. I could swap these out for some MTH Z4000 transformers. But why settle for the remake when you can have the original? I honestly, I think those are kind of ugly, but that's just me. And I prefer these. As much as I love the post-war equipment, and it might be goofy to hear me say this, I think the Z4000s are kind of outdated. Those were set up for Proto Sound 1 engines. I don't really have any of those. I've got one, but it's currently at the train shop getting a Proto Sound 3 upgrade. I don't really have a use for them. Yeah, my post-war engines have horns, which I can control with the whistle control on the ZW. But obviously all my command control engines get all their commands from the remote. So it's not needed. Like I was saying, I have some plans in the very near future to add some power over here to this layout. I'm going to make this a part 1 of a 2-part series. And I'll bring you guys along for the ride on installing that. Like I say, it's coming very soon. And I'm getting pretty excited to do that. If there's anything in that video you guys would like to see, please let me know. But once again, guys, I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little clip looking over the power of the layout. Hopefully it gave you some ideas. But until next time, guys, my name is Zach, and this is Country Bunkers Trains. Y'all take care. I'll see you next time.